What is going on, my crypto fiends? Ryan Rotolo here at World CryptoCon in Las Vegas, Nevada. So today we're going to be asking some multi-crypto millionaires their opinion on the college system. Let's get into it. What is your opinion on the current college system, and do you think it's a necessity to be successful in today's era?
Certainly not necessary to be successful. Like all things, there's room for improvement. And it really comes down to what it is that you need. I think college provides structure. I think college obviously provides structured education. But more than anything, it helps you develop relationships, that may end up becoming very important for you much later in life. Clearly, that education now, thanks to the internet, is free and readily available to most everyone. If you're willing to do the work to go out and search for it and find it for yourself. Some people need structure to learn. Some people are self-starters. They're entrepreneurial in their own intellectual pursuits. So I think it's good for some and unnecessary for others.
I think getting an education is important for everybody, not the young and old alike. And I think that beyond just, I know that everything's focused about getting an education for your career. I think part of getting an education is just for the person, to become a well-rounded, educated person. It's just has a lot of value.
What is your opinion on the current college system, and do you think it's a necessity to be successful in today's era?
You're asking me this of all people. Well, I never went to college, so I couldn't tell you. Realistically, I think if you're going to be involved in something like law, you're going to be a doctor, you need long study, and it's not the kind of thing that you can really educate yourself on fluently, then I think college is pretty important. To me personally, though, I've always looked at a college degree as something to tell somebody else you can make them rich. I feel like if you have enough drive and you're willing to educate yourself and learn everything you need to learn, there's the college of hard knocks and real experience, and then there's the book education, and I think it's kind of depends on what field you're into and what you're trying to accomplish in your life, personally.
I think you can definitely learn a lot in college, but it's not a necessity.
What is your opinion on the current college system, and do you think it's a necessity to be successful in today's era?
I think that college is the biggest scam in history aside from BitConnect. I think it is an absolute mistake. It is the worst possible thing you can do to go to college. I made a huge mistake of going to both undergrad and also to veterinary school. Both things I wish I could return, but it's so messed up because you can't return it. And guess what? You can't even bankrupt out of it. You're stuck with that debt for life. So either you pay it off, which you'll spend your whole life doing, or you kill yourself. You don't have much of an option. This is the biggest scam ever. Not to mention it's an absolutely worthless degree. Worthless degrees, gives you no practical experience, nothing like that. So you would be better off just actually spending time in the field that you want. If you look at all of the richest, most successful people in the world, all of them never went to college or were college dropouts. Basically, college is just a new form of slavery. It is slavery, 2000, whatever year it is, 2020 or whatever. But yeah, it's a new form of slavery. You basically become a slave for the rest of your life, where you have to work, 40 hours a week, 50 weeks out of a year. You get 2 weeks off a year just to pay off those stupid loans. So don't go to college. Biggest scam ever. I would never, ever do it again. If I ever have children, I will not let them go to college. I will say learn stuff on your own, because guess what? Anything you can learn in school, you can learn for free on the internet.
You've been really practicing that, huh? That was awesome. What is your current opinion on the current college system, and do you think it's a necessity to be successful in today's era?
Wow. I was not expecting that one at a crypto conference. Excuse my voice, guys. It's been a pretty intense couple nights. But the college system, I don't know. College teaches you how to work for somebody else. It teaches you how to be obedient. It doesn't really teach you how to be a free thinker or an entrepreneur, or anything like that. So, it has to exist. There's jobs out there that, people can't all just be traders and speculators. But, ultimately, I went to college for I got my associates. And that was literally just to convince my dad to let me come back home and live in the basement for a little bit so I could get my act together. But, for the most part, man, get out there, start your own business, try something. And I think that's where it goes, personally.
What is your opinion on the current college system, and do you think it's a necessity to be successful in today's era?
So, phenomenal question. University education, college education. If you're looking at the liberal arts, if you're looking at something you're looking at something to help you understand the world around you, then as a cultural experience, fine, great. But if you're looking at something that's going to help set you up in a meaningful way to become financially independent for the rest of your life, you need to look elsewhere. Or you need to go into college and university with that goal in mind and be ruthless in asking the hard questions.
Absolutely not. It's absolutely not a necessity to be successful going to college. I think obviously it just depends on what you want to do with your life, you know? And the thing about college and what it really says when you have a degree is it doesn't say that, oh, I'm so smart. Nobody ever looks at your GPA. What it says is, I was able, at a time in my life, for most people, when they're out partying and drinking and you know, not having direction, that I was actually able to focus for a period of time and finish something. And that says a lot to people. But actually the degree itself, it's not that useful. I think I would be very surprised if more than half of people use their degree.
What is your opinion on the current college system? And do you think it's a necessity to be successful in today's era?
So I think, obviously, what is the definition of success, right? Everybody has their own definition. Without diving into that rabbit hole, I would say no. I'm a high school graduate. I didn't go to college. And I'm in my early 40s, so I'm kind of in that era where, like, college was still, like, a necessity. And even at your age, it probably it still is, right? But I didn't go down that path. And the reason why is because I didn't want to learn a bunch of different things. I wanted to focus on what I wanted to learn. And I think that's the key to being successful today is going in full bore into what you're doing, right? A lot of times people ask successful people, like, how do you find balance in life? There is no balance in life to be successful, right? So you need to go all in, and college teaches you to, like, dabble. And, you know, I think if you want to do something with a degree, like a doctor or a lawyer, then you have no choice. But for the majority of people, they don't need it, and I think it's not even not needed. In a lot of cases, I think it's actually worse. And the reason why is because our lives can be whatever we want them to be. And what happens is, with all that school indoctrination, it teaches you to really think in between the lines, right? Think inside the box. But really, like, our lives can be anything we want, right? When we're kids, we had this imagination. So I think college can actually be a hindrance.
So this is coming from a guy that didn't even graduate high school, sorry, but created numerous companies, and God's been good to us. And anyway, so if you're asking me about the school system, if you're going to be like a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, I think that college is probably a good way to go. You probably don't want to learn how to operate on somebody from just watching it on YouTube. Like, hey, man, he's Dr. YouTube. It's like, what could go wrong, right? So I'm thinking college is probably good for people like that. But for, I think, the average person that just wants to be successful and financially free, college isn't a necessity at all. It's a form of enslavement, because you're going to have to pay all that debt back. It's one of the few things you can't go bankrupt on. So say you spend $50,000 a year in college and you go there for 4 years. If you're lucky, you're only $200,000 in debt. You go there for 4 years, you realize, oh my God, I didn't want to learn this stuff at all. It doesn't apply to me at all. I can't even do this. And then you go work at McDonald's, you go work at some construction job or something like that, and you still owe all that money. So I don't think college is for everybody. I think it's for some people with, like, super specialized skill sets, or need those super specialized skill sets. But for everybody else, man, just work hard, believe in God, and do what you love, and the money will come.
What is your opinion on the current college system, and do you think it's a necessity to be successful in today's era?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
You hear that, Mom?
Yeah, you hear that, Mom? Information is, in this day and age, so accessible that you don't need college for most of the things you're trying to do in life nowadays. The internet gives you the ability, if you have the will and the drive, to go out there, learn it. Even in the traditional realm, you have MOOCs. You ever heard of MOOCs? Massively online open courses. Those are coming about, and you're going to see more and more people using those. It's free. I can do a MOOC from Yale, Harvard, any of them. They're free, they're open, and you can learn. So we're in the age of knowledge, And no, you don't need school for that.
Absolutely not. I'll tell you something. Experience and knowledge and integrity means way more than your degree. Running a startup myself, Ryan, lower that mic. It's too close to my face. There you go. Thank you very much, Ryan. Running a startup myself, I know I bring in like job hires, and they have degrees from Stanford or Berkeley and whatever. And then I hire them, and they sit on a beanbag chair and blog about, I don't know, Trump for a little bit. And then when you yell at them to do work, they cry and go to their safe space. If I get like an intern that has been working at Walgreens or have been like doing construction their whole life, not only do they have the work ethic to not just work 9 to 5, but to go above and beyond, get there early, stay late, but they also had the drive and passion. They know exactly how hard and how rough real life is, and it takes hard work and dedication and passion to be successful. They know that they have to put their whole heart and soul into it. They want to rise up out of poverty and be somebody. And that doesn't take a degree, that takes knowledge.
All right, awesome answer. Over here.
No, you do not need college. College is I never went to college. I actually didn't even graduate high school. Education is not listening to what someone else tells you should know. Education is learning truth in every aspect. And we live in a world where we have a worldwide web of information, and whatever you're passionate about is what you should learn about.
I would say yes, if you're learning a technical skill. It definitely helped me, but if you're doing something like business or you're majoring in entrepreneurship or English or something that is almost takes industrial experience over education, I think maybe it's not necessary, but a trade, yeah. Like, for example, I have my master's and undergrad in engineering, right? So I'm a nuclear engineer and I got my master's in systems engineering. So that was very helpful for me because you need that educational background.
What is your opinion on the current college system, and do you think it's a necessity to be successful in today's era?
Good question, good question. So current college is you take out a loan, you go to school, you learn a specific subject for a couple of years, and then you come out and you don't necessarily get any sort of career, and it's not promised. So it's essentially like a six-figure bet in a way. So my opinion is it is a good social experience. You can go there, you can meet friends, you can mingle around depending on the different networks that you're in. If you're in a business school, whatnot, you can use that network over time. But for example, HBS, you pay for the network. Like you get access to a lot of really interesting people. But in the grand scheme of things, work ethic and hard work needs to be taught in like the real world. So my answer is no, but I've been a fan of boot camps and accelerated learning programs for the past 5 years or so, and where they actually place you in a job afterwards, which is almost like a trade school on steroids. So I'm a big fan of that over like a 4-year university.
What is your opinion on the current college system, and do you think it's a necessity to be successful in today's era?
Damn good question. I'll just take that right on. Actually, I don't. I think that college has become a business. I think that whereas most people go to college expecting a certain end result, and that's not really what college is really turned into. I think that if you go there looking to educate yourself, expand yourself in that respect, and not necessarily like, I'm just going to get a degree and get a job and then that's it, I think that that's the wrong way to kind of go about it these days, because I think that really the industry has turned into more of a business versus trying to educate people and get them out into a workforce in general. So I mean, I went to college, I have a degree, but in general, I don't think everyone needs to. I think that if you can find your own unique thing that you do, then you don't necessarily need to spend that time there. But college and commercials and media want to make you think that's the case.